The principle of vision, y'all, it's so powerful. It is literally something that God provided and showed us and gave us to create the life that we would love. Literally, the principle of vision is to keep something before your eyes. It was not man's idea, it was God's idea. There's in Genesis, there's a story. You'll find the story of Jacob, Genesis 30, I think it's 30 or 31. And Jacob needed increase, right? He had been working for Laban for like 14 years, and Laban didn't even want to let him go then. And Jacob had a family to support, and he had a vision, and he wanted more, right? So he made an agreement with Laban to take the speckled and spotted cattle, which at that time was considered the least valuable, the least expensive, and the fewer in number. And it looked like Jacob would be getting the short end of the deal, right? But what Laban didn't know was that Jacob had a strategy from God. God told him to take branches, like tree branches, and to strip the bark from them so they look like spotted and place them where the cattle were going to be drinking, place them where those animals were going to be drinking. So every time even the animals came, they would see the vision, which is to produce spotted. So every time they came to the water, they had to look at those spots over and over and over again. And when it was time for them to reproduce, y'all, to have babies, they produced what they had been seeing. If visualization works for animals, that's only one example. Of course, there's examples for humans, but it just goes to show you like God literally created a strategy that you can produce what you see and what you keep your eyes upon, what you continue to look at. Yes, 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 yes. And so it is so powerful to know that you can produce what you see. And that's why vision is so important. The Bible says without vision, people cast off restraint, they cast it off. Vision allows us to be disciplined. So the solid colored cattle gave birth to the spotted offspring. They birthed something that they didn't even look like. The ones that were solid colored, they birthed what they wasn't even in their DNA. They birthed it because they looked at it. They birthed it because that's what they kept in front of their eyes. They birthed it because they visualized it every day because they literally saw it. No natural explanation, no logical reason, just the truth. What they saw is what they produced. And it's time for you to be able to produce and make sure you're seeing what you want to produce. We don't want to be entertained just by other people's lives. We want to create our own vision and create that so you can see it in your own life, because what you keep before your eyes will eventually show up in your life. What you keep before your eyes will eventually show up in your life. So everything you can hold in your hands right now, what you see and what you feel, a business, a home, an opportunity, a result, a pen, a mouse, a wireless mouse, a camera, a highlighter, a water bottle, before it was built, it was seen. Before it was manifested, it was imagined. And so here's the question, what are you seeing? Because most people are not living from vision, they're living from their memory. And they replay what didn't work. They replay what didn't happen before. They replay what happened last year. They replay their last 10 years. They replay the disappointment. They replay the no. They replay the rejection. They replay the loss. They rehearse past disappointments. They focus on what's missing and then wonder why nothing changes. But vision works differently. Vision is not fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. Your vision is a blueprint, and your blueprint will be made manifest if you stick with it. It is the internal picture that your life will eventually conform to. Hello, somebody, because your mind, your subconscious mind, it doesn't argue with what you repeatedly show it. Your subconscious mind does not argue with what you repeatedly show it. It accepts it, it aligns with it, and then it begins to produce from it. I'm going to say that again. It accepts it, it aligns with it, and then it begins to produce it. That's why it matters so much. That's why it matters so much. So if you wake up and you see problems, you wake up and you think about problems, you're going to produce more problems because vision is like the law of gravity. It doesn't matter if you knew when you walked off the building that you were going to go down. It's a law. It doesn't matter if you don't understand. It's still working and it's still happening. Good morning, Rohit. Thanks for joining. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Unique Gift. And so if you wake up and only see problems, you're going to produce more problems. If you wake up and keep the vision, you visualize it, you have clear intention, clear goals in front of you, you're going to begin to align with that and something greater. And your thoughts will begin to shift. Your energy will shift. Your decisions will shift. And your life will start moving in that direction, the direction of what you've been seeing. That is literally what will happen. So you want to have a vision, and I know I've been talking about vision the last week, and so that's why today I'm going to give you an opportunity to help you tap into your own vision and walk you through it. Because sometimes, like, somebody can say it and you're like, okay, but it really does help for somebody to talk you through it and walk you through it. Okay, so we can be specific and clear and keep it before you, so you can have it daily, so you can have it consistently in front of you. Consistently in front of you. So y'all, let's go back to the story with Laban. The solid colored cows gave birth to speckled and spotted offspring. And then Jacob got to keep all the speckled calf, which made him like basically super wealthy. Because what you keep before your eyes will eventually show up in your life. And that principle is still true today. Theologians believe that Jacob literally walked away with nearly 75% of the livestock because of his strategy. So I want to challenge you this week. I want to challenge you this week. We're in our vision challenge to visualize what your life looks like when everything works out, to visualize the life that you would absolutely love. I'll say once a day, but if you can do it twice a day, even better. Even better. Because remember, the truth is everything you can hold in your hands began first in the mind of somebody who refused to let go of their vision. Woo, somebody who refused to let go of their vision. Steel empires, global movements, products, technology revolutions, AI, the internet, vehicles. Okay, so what the world called unrealistic, somebody else called inevitable. And so when you close your eyes, you want to be able to see the world that you would love and to create it, not just the world that has been handed to you. Hello, somebody? Not just the limits that you were taught. So what do you see when the noise dies down and your soul begins to speak? Because that is where your life begins. And you have to allow yourself the opportunity to do that so you can create it. Not based on your circumstances, not based on your current situation, not based on your current conditions, but in the clarity of vision that's so vivid that it burns into your reality like sunlight through the glass. Napoleon Hill said, visualization is not a fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. It is the discipline of belief in motion. Napoleon Hill said that vision is the blueprint of champions. It is the language of every soul who ever changed the course of history. Every soul. Walt Disney stood in a swamp through the blood. Walt Disney stood in a swamp and he saw a kingdom, the Magic Kingdom. He saw Disney World. But he was in Walt Disney started in a swamp. A swamp, a swamp, a stinky, dirty swamp. And look at it today. Edison saw light through the dark, through every one of his 999 trials to get to the 1000 to get the light. So people were seeing vision, and you have the same power. You have the same power to see vision. You have the same power to create. But the tragedy is that most people never use it. That after like age 7, age 8, people stop visualizing, they stop imagining things that they can't see, and they only sit in what they can see, and they rehearse their past and replay our failures and reimagine rejection that's happened to us. And we visualize worst case scenarios that could possibly happen to us and call it realism. Good morning, Lo. But the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. It simply obeys. That's why we set our clocks fast, because your subconscious mind still says, oh, it looks like it's this time. We better hurry. We better go. Let's be on time. Mm. When you see defeat, you train for defeat. But when you watch your vision, you train to manifest your vision. You become the architect and you remove your own limitations, starting with your vision. When you see greatness vividly and clearly, consistently with purpose and emotion, you literally summons every force that comes to help bring it to pass, far beyond your own conscious comprehension. This is proven spiritually. This is proven in neuroscience. This is proven with laws of success. It is literally proven. You activate a force that's called definite of purpose, Napoleon Hill said. And definiteness of purpose. And it's the power of a made up mind. The power of a made up mind. So the moment when your wish becomes a will and is backed up by vision, it is an unstoppable force. Think about people that have vision, like the Wright brothers, if y'all remember that. They wanted to create a plane. They tried all these things, all these bumps, all these bruises. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any credentials. But they were like, I know we can fly. I know we can fly. Nobody else is in the air. Nobody else is flying, but I know we can fly. I see it. I saw it, and we're going to keep going till we make it happen. So visualization is how you instruct the world and God's universe to help bring into view and bring into your real life what you see when you close your eyes and visualize it. You don't get what you want. You get what you're prepared to receive. You get what you visualize, and you get what you're a match with. You get what you're a vibrational match to, what you align to, what you are energetically prepared for, what your heart and mind is prepared to receive, what you are emotionally a match for. And that preparation begins in your mind. It begins in your mind. So you also want to be careful what you imagine, and stop visualizing bad things. Stop you allowing anxiety to promote and produce fear in your future. So you have to be careful what you're visualizing, because most people are just visualizing their worst case scenarios. Your imagination is your construction site. Why don't you build the life you want? Come on, somebody, drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready to build the life that you want. You must not only see the outcome, you got to live it, you're going to walk it, you're going to talk it, you're going to breathe it as if it's already done, because the subconscious mind does not follow commands. It literally follows the patterns that you keep showing it. And the more your nervous system calibrates, it's going to act accordingly. Y'all, athletes do it all the time. When you look at Olympians, when you look at people who do the high jump, you watch them, they close their eyes before they do it, because they're visualizing the whole thing. You watch athletes. You can watch people, performers, world-class performers, Navy SEALs. All of these people are rehearsing every detail of their victory before they step onto the battlefield, because they know that the body is going to follow the mind, not the other way around. And all these people who success is important to them and success is imminent to them, they are visualizing their victory before it happens, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, so their body naturally flows into it. World-class performers do it all the time. Even musicians, they rehearse every detail. Why not you? Why not now? If you rise and see your goals, you're going to feel your progress. You're going to taste your future like it's already there. You're going to feel the emotions in your body and experience it and tap into a deeper source. Napoleon Hill said, visualization without belief is like painting without color. So not only you visualize it, you believe that this is for me, that this is for me. Yes. Lo, your imagination is your construction site. Why don't you build what you want? Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. It was the law of self-concept. The law of self-concept is you will never outperform your belief of who you are. Another way that we say it is you will never outperform your self-esteem. You will never outperform your self-image. So guess what? The more you visualize yourself where you love to be, you're creating your newest image. You're creating to be the man, the woman who X, Y, and Z, who you really desire to be. So can you see yourself there? Before the world puts you there, can you see yourself there? One of my mentors one time, she said, "Baby, you better hear your thunder before everybody else does. You don't have to wait for everybody else to hear your thunder and see your thunder. You're the one I know is here. I know it's here. I know what's inside of me. You're the one that you should be saying, I know." You should be saying this to yourself. I know what's inside of me. Okay. So, and then your action has to be paired with the emotional intensity of your vision. So we're not only visualizing, because we visualize regularly, it puts you into action. It puts you into action. Okay. So when we start visualizing, I start off with gratitude. So for those of you who have a piece of paper and you're ready to do this part today, you start out with on your paper, I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that. We start off with gratitude. Even when I'm in my workshops and I'm in master classes that I teach, as you know, I'm a transformational coach to people who are women and entrepreneurs who are creating six figures and they're ready to go to seven figures with ease, without strain, without stress. So they can be rested CEOs and scale. Um, but when you're operating, the first thing we start with is gratitude. Why are we starting with gratitude? Because gratitude is a force multiplier. Gratitude is more than a polite reflection. Gratitude is fuel. Gratitude puts you on the same frequency as abundance. And gratitude is like saying, send me more, send me more, send me more, send me more. We want to operate in gratitude. And before you write your vision, before you do your visualizations, I encourage you to always say out loud and think about things that you're grateful for first. And then even start your vision with, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And then we write it out or you say it out loud. Because when you feel deep gratitude for a future outcome, before it even happens, you are signaling belief at the highest level. You're signaling belief at the highest level. You're saying, I trust this so fully that I'm already thankful for it. I trust this so fully that I'm already grateful for it. I trust this so fully that God gave me this vision, that if I can see it, it's because He's putting it inside of me. And I trust it so fully that I can already say, thank you, man. I'm so happy and grateful now that. I trust it so fully. Thank you for your heart's TikTok. I trust it so fully, Sierra. And that's the energy that literally also begins to bend reality, put you on the same frequency as abundance. Hmm. So you get to choose. Because when you're grateful in advance, you're not begging for your dream, you're preparing for it. You're saying, thank you, let me get ready. This is happening. This is happening. You're declaring its arrival. Oh, somebody, is it time for you to declare the arrival of your dream, of your vision, of what is for you, of what you visualize, of what you pictured, of that burn that you knew you were drawn for something greater, that there was something more for you? Are you ready? You're not begging, you're preparing, you're preparing. Gratitude brings that hunger, not the kind of hunger that comes from lack, but the kind that comes from love. Love for the vision, love for the journey, love for who you're becoming. Love for who you're becoming. There's a scripture that says, and nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them in Genesis 11:6. Nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them because there was a vision and a unification. Okay? Man, so powerful, so powerful, so powerful. So this is what I'm going to have you do. today. I'm going to walk you guys through creating a vision. So first, we're going to visualize it. We're going to visualize it, and if you, I want you to visualize it first, and then you can write later, or you can write afterwards. But first, we're going to visualize it. So, in this moment, I would love for everybody to just begin to take a deep breath. You're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. As we orchestrate our morning, as we set our morning, as we're moving in purpose this morning, take a deep breath in. If you're with me on Facebook, just type I'm ready. If you're ready on IG and TikTok, just type I'm ready. All right. So deep breath in, exhale out. Another deep breath in through your nose. Nice slow breath out. Next, we're moving into gratitude. This morning, I want you to start thinking about some things that you are grateful for today. What are some things that you're grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? And next, I want you to think of two things you're proud of yourself for. This, again, it amplifies getting into our vision. What are you proud of yourself for? Two things. What are two things you're proud of yourself for? Excellent. So now, if you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to visualize this beautiful, bright, shining circle. And I want you to visualize that beautiful, bright ball of light, a shining circle. It's just going around you, going around the top of your head, going around your body. Everything around your atmosphere is cleansed. Everything around your atmosphere is purified. Everything around your atmosphere is right. There's only like great vibes all around. And you're grounded. Imagine that you are stable, that you are firm, and that you're grounded. And next, I want you to imagine that it's 3 years from now. Everything worked out. Amazing. It's 3 years from today. And everything absolutely worked out. You are living your ideal life. You are living the best life that you could have ever possibly imagined. Everything worked out. It worked out in relationships. It worked out with your health. It worked out with your businesses. It's working out wonderfully with your finances. It's working out wonderfully with your teams. It's working out wonderfully with everything that you desire. Your children, your family. It's all worked out. So I want you to imagine that you're seeing yourself on a screen right now. It could be a movie screen, it could be a TV screen, the screen that you choose. You're watching yourself 3 years from now on the screen. And I want you to just say, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And I want you to watch yourself. What are you doing? It all worked out. What's happening right now? I want you to see yourself living a life you're watching on the screen. What are you and your family doing? Maybe you just checked your bank account and you're like, it's here, I did it. Oh my gosh. Maybe you're standing on a stage and people are cheering from you, cheering for you. Maybe you just left your new properties. Maybe you just looked on Amazon and you saw that your book is doing amazing. Your book series is doing amazing. What is it for you? Maybe you're doing something that shows how healthy you are, living the life that you're living. Maybe you see your picture on the mantle and you're married with a family. What is it for you? Keep visualizing it. What do you see? What does your business look like? Are you walking in and you see this operation that's fully functional and you're just popping in, but it operates without you having to do everything, that you're operating with ease, that you're rested, that you're taking trips and vacations? What does it look like for you? And now I'm going to give you a moment that whatever you just saw, you're going to take it up a notch. Maybe there are some things you want to edit, like, oh, wait, wait, wait. Okay, okay. That's fine. We're going to edit right now. You're looking back at your vision, you're looking back at it, and you're editing. Take it, make it even better. So, what's happening now? Who are you? What does it look like? You don't have to know the middle. You don't have to know the how. We're just talking about the what. What does it look like? It's 3 years from now. Everything worked out. You're watching yourself. You're watching this play out on the screen. You're watching yourself pay for things in one lump sum, or you're looking at your bank account like, oh, that was easy. I paid for that whole thing, and look at all this money that's still here. You're looking at yourself checking multiple accounts. Look at this savings account, girl. Look at that investment account, girl. Look at X, Y, and Z. It's all there. It's all present. Okay, last edit. Last edit. You're watching this happen on the movie screen. Maybe you forgot something before. What other area are you watching and it all worked out? How about you? How do you feel? How do you look? What do you wear? What is your identity? How are the people around you responding and loving on you? What people are you impacting? How are you serving others? Now I want you to imagine that everything you just visualized, that movie screen is just turning into a ball again. It's turning back into a gold ball. Everything is just doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, turn into a gold ball. And imagine that gold ball is just coming down into your brain like you're depositing it here, depositing it. It just went into your brain and now it's traveling down right into your heart. And now you're holding this vision in your heart. This is yours. This is yours. Your life looks amazing on you. When you're ready, I'm going to have you take a deep breath in, out, and you can slowly open your eyes. We're going to say, this is how we send it off, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. If you have time now, I want you to we're going to close, but I want you to begin to start writing out your vision. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and write it as if it's already done. I'm so happy and grateful now that, because you already saw it, so it's already done. I'm so happy and grateful now that X, Y, and Z, that I'm living like this and that this is how my life is. I'm so happy and grateful my spouse and I do this, or my kids, da 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 da, or my business has welcomed in this amount. I've helped this many people. You're writing it all, these things that have already happened, because it's already done. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have zero balances due to anybody, that I owe no man nothing but love. I'm so happy and grateful I'm in my best health, my most vibrant health. I'm so happy and grateful now that my dream came true. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in answered prayer, that I'm able to give X, Y, and Z. How much are you giving away? I'm able to give away X, Y, and Z to the places of my choice and to the people of my choice. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am so rested, that I'm traveling and enjoying travel every other month, that I have an entire team that's helping to do X, Y, and Z, and people are operating in their zone of genius. I'm operating in my zone of genius. What is it for you? You're so happy and grateful now that this is how you create your real life. So we're in our vision challenge. We have about 23 more days left. You're in your vision. I want you to be rehearsing vision daily. Before you go to bed, when you wake up, multiple times a day. It could be parts and snippets. You can take 60 seconds and just visualize a part that's already done. This is going to shift your life. It is a law. It is a proven principle. It is a proven concept. And I wanted to sow into you today to help you to tap into that, okay? All right. I know today was different, but I had to give this to you, okay? All right. Thank y'all for joining. I love you. Join me in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group where the challenge is happening, you can just DM me and ask for the link to the Facebook group. Pop in there that you did your vision. Pop in there something that you're visualizing. And you watch what starts happening to you in these 30 days of this challenge. Okay? I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for visualizing with me, living your dream life. I can't wait to live in your dream life with you. I can't wait to see your dream life that you created manifested on the earth.